Welcome to AiTales, the YouTube channel that uses the power of artificial intelligence to tell true and fiction stories like never before. Through cutting-edge AI technology, we bring the past to life and uncover fascinating tales from history that have been long forgotten. Join us as we delve deep into the past and explore the people, places, and events that have shaped our world. With AiTales, history has never been more exciting or engaging. Joaquin Guzman, better known as El Chapo, was born in the rugged hills of Sinaloa, Mexico, in 1957. He was the eldest of 7 children born to a poor farming family. From a young age, Joaquin had to work hard to help his family make ends meet. He would spend his days tending to crops and livestock, and at night he would often help his father with the family's illegal business of selling marijuana. Despite the hardships of his upbringing, Joaquin was a bright and ambitious child. He was determined to escape the poverty and violence that plagued his hometown. He saw the drug trade as a way to make a better life for himself and his family. By the time he was a teenager, he had already begun to establish himself as a successful drug dealer. Joaquin was a shrewd businessman who understood the importance of building alliances and maintaining a strong network of contacts. He quickly rose through the ranks of the Sinaloa drug cartel, which at the time was one of the most powerful criminal organizations in Mexico. Joaquin's reputation as a savvy and ruthless drug lord grew, and he soon became one of the most wanted men in the country. Despite the constant threat of arrest and assassination, Joaquin remained steadfast in his pursuit of power and wealth. He expanded his empire by establishing connections with other drug cartels, and he invested heavily in sophisticated smuggling operations. He also had a knack for evading the authorities, using a network of safe houses and tunnels to stay one step ahead of the law. As Joaquin's power and influence grew, so did his notoriety. He became a symbol of the drug trade in Mexico, and his exploits were the subject of countless news stories and folk songs. But for all his fame and fortune, Joaquin remained a deeply private man. He rarely gave interviews, and he never spoke publicly about his criminal activities. Despite the risks, Joaquin continued to run his empire with an iron fist. He was known for his ruthless tactics, including kidnapping, extortion, and murder. He also had a reputation for being incredibly loyal to his friends and allies, and he was often referred to as a Robin Hood figure by those who admired him. As Joaquin approached his 60s, he began to realize that his days as a drug lord were numbered. He had already been arrested and escaped from prison once before, and he knew that the authorities were closing in on him. But even in the face of certain danger, Joaquin remained defiant. He refused to go quietly, and he continued to fight for his freedom until the bitter end. This is the story of a man who rose from humble beginnings to become one of the most powerful and feared drug lords in the world. It is a tale of ambition, violence, and corruption, and it is a testament to the enduring allure of the drug trade in Mexico. As Joaquin Guzman's power grew, so did the violence and chaos that surrounded him. The Sinaloa cartel became embroiled in a bloody war with rival gangs, each vying for control of the lucrative drug trade. Joaquin himself survived several assassination attempts and narrowly escaped capture on numerous occasions. But despite the dangers, Joaquin remained focused on his ultimate goal, expanding his empire and amassing even greater wealth. He invested heavily in new smuggling routes and technology, including the use of submarines and airplanes to transport drugs across borders. He also forged alliances with corrupt officials and law enforcement officers who turned a blind eye to his criminal activities in exchange for bribes and other favors. Despite his notoriety and the constant threat of arrest or assassination, Joaquin's ego continued to grow. He became increasingly reckless, flaunting his wealth and power in public and attracting the attention of the media and the authorities. He built opulent mansions and threw lavish parties, even as his rivals and enemies closed in around him. But eventually, Joaquin's luck ran out. In 1993, he was arrested in Guatemala and extradited to Mexico, where he was convicted of drug trafficking and sentenced to 20 years in prison. But even behind bars, Joaquin remained a force to be reckoned with. He continued to run his empire from his cell, using a network of corrupt guards and visitors to smuggle in drugs, weapons, and other contraband. In 2001, Joaquin made a daring escape from prison, allegedly with the help of prison officials who were on his payroll. He went into hiding, moving from safe house to safe house and continuing to run his empire from the shadows. He became one of the most wanted men in the world, with a $5 million bounty on his head. For the next several years, Joaquin continued to evade capture, even as the Mexican government launched a massive manhunt for him. He became a folk hero to many in Mexico, who admired his ability to outsmart the authorities and survive in the face of such adversity. But in 2016, Joaquin's luck finally ran out. After months of surveillance and intelligence gathering, Mexican Marines stormed his safe house in Los Mochis, Sinaloa, capturing him without a shot fired. He was extradited to the United States, where he was convicted of drug trafficking and other charges and sentenced to life in prison. The capture of Joaquin Guzman, known as El Chapo, was a major victory for the Mexican and U.S. governments, which had spent decades trying to bring him to justice. But it was also a stark reminder of the enduring power and influence of the drug trade, which continues to fuel violence and corruption across Mexico and the world. Thank you for watching this episode of AiTales, where we bring history to life through the power of AI. We hope you found this episode informative and entertaining, and that it deepened your understanding and appreciation of the world around us. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue to create and share more fascinating stories from the past, brought to life with the latest AI technology. Thank you again for tuning in to AiTales, and we look forward to sharing more incredible stories with you soon.